Hello, Demon.
Hi, Demon.
Welcome back to a solo session of Philly by Night. Tonight we're in for a very special session as our resident Irish madman is meeting with a couple of his touchstones. Definitely one touchstone. We'll see how the night goes.
We'll see how the night.
So, Finnegan, it is about 9 p.m., May 17th. You have roused from your day sleep to find a curious sight. For a brief instant, at the foot of your bed, you see a man dressed in a tan uniform before he flickers from sight.
And you just kind of start singing a little ditty to himself as you start waking up.
You are a bit hungrier than usual, so you go out for a little snacky snack. And as you come away from your hunt, you find yourself feeling mellow, very relaxed. So, first stop is Seamus, right? Go to see the old man.
I, I think on the way, Finnegan will take off the ring on the chain that he has, and put it on as he's walking.
As you walk, the night is cool. It is breezy, but not windy. A night that you would describe as fierce mild.
Right.
Before long, you hear the sound of another set of footsteps beside you.
Side
S-
behind.
Beside, the smell of honey and blueberries is apparent. You rang, son of the isle?
I uh, been meaning to since being back in town. Reconnect, you know. I've been
Reconnection would imply that we've stopped watching.
naturally, and I heard reports of yous and yours keeping eyes, uh, and perhaps with a more uh, with the new power structure that has taken over, relations can be a bit more smoothed over. But anyways, I've been
Yes,
hearing
yes, your prince who was promised.
the prince. No mind, it's different. But I'm, anyways, um, um, I've been seeing weird things around town about like pollen and stuff, and these glowing flowers. Is that yous? You don't seem like yous.
We try very hard to keep our presence in the mortal world under wraps.
And the spooky, the hallucinations and the headaches. That ain't you.
Hmm, not to my knowledge, but I would have to look deeper into it.
I, it's kind reports. we're still getting things figured. But just seeing if you knew anything, since you are of the wild and such.
Is there concern?
A bit. A guard dog has to protect his flock, and though not all of them are mine, there's some things happening in this city that I don't right know about. I'd like to.
Well, if it's a favor you're looking for,
I I'm not seeking to trade favors or nothing. I just came asking for information if you had some, and you confirmed that it wasn't yours.
you're no fun son of the Isle.
I know me rules, and I know to keep this a little bit more on that chain that I have than just wear it willy nilly all the time. It's good to talk to you, but I might not have a lot going up on here, but I know what's going on.
We can always fix that, you know.
Listen, I'm sure. Me and me boy, I'm learning me letters, so we're fixing it too.
Very well. And with that, there is a bit of a puff, and the blueberry vanishes.
And he was just about to like turn and be like, oh well, shit. And he'll just head out towards, assuming it's the same kind of meeting spot.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, are you in?
So
My cat's getting into shit. Continue on.
you continue on with your night. You go to the senior living apartments, not far from the Hibernian Club. Sitting outside on one of the benches, just taking in the night air, is your old pal Seamus. He
Look
looks
him
over
away.
at you. Oh, well, good to see you again.
Hi, you too, grandfather. Hey, you eating today? And kind of pulls out a jacket potato.
Oh, certainly had a bit, but well, I won't say no.
Here, cooked fish. Tail come up and just kind of like wobble to his side and just huff.
And he'll sit there and he'll munch on his potato. So these nights been treating you well?
Fair enough. It's a bit mild, but too hot over here. Not like home.
No. Been thinking a lot about the Isle recently. I'd very much like to go home someday.
Oh, I feel the call more and more these days. I miss home. It's been too long. Sorry, you've been gone past couple of months.
Oh, you've got things you've got to worry about. I've got things I've got to worry about. Mostly chasing nurses, you see. And he kind of
I,
ribs you with his elbow a bit.
of course, couldn't keep you down. Never could. You've been keeping all right though.
Oh, I. Oh, I. The club's not been right without you.
I just tell a few jokes, bring up the spirits of people.
Well, it's good to see the young ones interested in the old ways. So,
I
tell me, what have you been up to?
oh, a bit of this, bit of that, working around in the city. Got me tied up with some fancy hoity-toity lawyer type.
Mm,
I think he's a good man.
English.
No, he has some Irish blood in him, but also a bit. He's a good man. He's just there's a different kind of blood in him.
One of those lace curtain twats.
I, I I think he's a good man. I still trust him. I still trust him.
That's just a funny thing, boyo.
I
Hard to gain, easy to lose.
hard to recover.
What if
He's
you think this? If you think he's a good man, well, I'm sure time will tell.
he's doing some weird shape right now. I don't get it. He's supposed to be a leader, supposed to be strong, and he's making himself weaker. He's taking one of them long, like one of them fast.
You're familiar with the Lenten fast, boyo.
I've given up a bit here and there. It's similar to
For
that.
sure. But sometimes, sometimes folk do things don't make much sense. The Catholics, you see, they fast to show their affirmation in the Lord. You said it's something like that.
I uh, yeah, how in for Lent some people give up alcohol or smoking. It essentially it would be like you giving up chasing nurses for this man.
Oh, the life's blood.
I
Oh, you say it's making him weaker, but maybe he's removing a bit of distraction. Sounds to me, anyway. Who knows what I could get done in a day if I didn't chase the nurses around?
I'd sure you'd be mighty productive, Seamus. We might be a united Ireland if it wasn't for things like that, keeping our lads from chasing people around.
Oh, I think a bit of the chase is it's good for you.
Oh, I did recently. I feel like a hound chasing a car round and round and round, and I've caught it. Don't know what to do
You
now.
don't know what to do with it. Yeah,
hey, hey. I mean, like his hand under the table starts like twitching a little bit.
lads, a lot of us would have done anything for a bit of title, a bit of pull. For example, look at what Sinn Féin was able to do once they were out of the trenches and into the halls. They've done real good for themselves, done real good for Ireland. Who
I
knows? We might not, we might just see a united Ireland before I go.
oh for sure, for sure.
There's
There,
something to be said for being part of the in crowd. Long as you remember where you come from.
Always, always happy roots. Maybe you're right. We Sinn Féin and all. Yeah, them wigs could have been right instead of instead of us fighting. We could have been at the benches instead.
There's something to be said for the fighting.
We lost a lot.
We gained a lot too. Gained a seat at the table.
I Ethan kind of looks back or looks at his own situation of like having a seat at the table and just kind of chuckles to himself a bit.
The only regret, Boyle, was not being more effective. You can't you can't sit there and moan and complain about where you find yourself if you fought hard to get there. You look like a smart lad. Fought hard to get to where you are.
That last
But
part's true.
this lawyer type you're working with might just open more doors than you think he might. After all, it's them lawyer types would write the laws. It's the laws what dictate the land.
I
Having his ear might just be a good thing.
have his ear. I just heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Eh, he got much use for crowns.
Nah, we don't.
Bring nothing but trouble.
I need to be remembering that more often. I do. I do. And you're saying with regrets of not fighting enough. I understand that. It's one of my biggest regrets too. Could always do more to fight. Could always protected more. Could have saved her.
It was good, lad. Think about regret. It's a stone tied to her waist. It'll drag you down if you're not careful.
No way. No way. Got to be stronger than a stone then. Don't have as
Not
much regret.
stronger. Make sure that stone stays as small as possible, like a charm, not a weight.
Hey. And like this is one of the first times that he'll actually like look up and like try to make eye contact. And that's what I'm trying to do.
He smiles at you, finishing up his potato. So you got something weighing on you, lad.
Few things.
Yeah, go ahead, unburden yourself. Old granddad's here to listen.
You have kids. I know you
I
mentioned
had
a
a couple.
niece, but did you have kids?
I had a couple of weans after the war.
Any boys?
No, no, two wee lasses though.
Yeah, lessons. Fine. I find myself. kind of with a bit of an adopted daughter, a charge I'm looking after. And I've also reconnected a bit with my son.
Oh, think about daughters, lad. They're gonna break your heart.
About that.
It's it's the fact of the matter. You just want to make sure that you keep them safe without pushing them away.
No,
That's uh that's the thing about regret. And he wrings his hands a bit. You got to balance out keeping them safe with letting them make their own mistakes. You got to let them fall, but you got to be there to pick them back up again.
what if you're watching them fall? Or what if you see dangers and rocks and debris in the path?
You can point them out for sure, but you got to let them trip over them. You can't protect them from every little thing, lad. That's that's how you push them away. Go
Oh my
ahead
God,
and give me a wits and awareness, please.
wits and awareness. Does my thingy thing come into play?
Not tonight.
Ooh, how fun! I mean, that's fair. Why would I be paranoid around Seamus? Or
Here we go. Very good, very good, very good. You see the man wringing his hands a little tighter, a little harder. His brow has knit, and he's got that far off look in his eye. The thing about watching him fall, watching him stumble, much of it hurts. You gotta let it happen, lad. It's the only way the young folk learn. It's the only way they become wise old folk. You can't protect them from every little thing in this world. And, well, it, if you try, you're never going to be around to protect them from the things that really matter, from the big stuff. Let him trip, let him stumble.
of course, I might actually be meeting up with him afterwards if the courage don't desert me. I don't right know what I'd say.
Make sure he knows that you love him. Make sure he knows that you're there for him. Most importantly, make sure he knows that you're human. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. You're going to fall. But you ain't no perfect creature.
Heirs to human.
Forgive is divine.
Well, to forgiveness then. Okay, I'll be needing a spadeful tonight.
The old man reaches into his jacket, pulls out an old silver flask. Maybe a tippler then, for courage. He kind of shakes it at you.
I would grant that, but remember, I made a promise to me girl
Oh, I. Oh, I.
before she.
And he tucks it back in his pocket. Oh, I then.
I appreciate you, though, Seamus. I do.
You got to remember, boyo. Life is hard and cruel. It's the people we love what bring us light and laughter. And if you done wrong by your boy, it's best to be owning up to it. Accept his faults so that he can accept yours.
Hey, there are these lights in this world, and I'll protect them, and I'll keep them safe. Like you. You don't got to worry about nothing while I'm around. Okay?
You best be careful, boyo, not to make promises that you can't keep.
I work. Well, I won't say I work with them enough, but we're from the Underdial. We know how the fair folk work. When we speak true and plain. I've, in the
This
past,
draws a rather curious look from the man. And if you'll excuse me, I have a roll to make.
no, I did not. We're honest folk from Ireland. You spoke about the hound taking care of yous in the past. Maybe I can try to do that now.
Why? Maybe you can. A word of warning, no, boyo. You can't go stacking yourself up against a hero's tale. You start doing that, you develop that big head, thinking you can shield all the world from the problems. You
Not
can't.
all the way. Not all. Just my word. What I can. Just who I can protect. They've taken so much from us, this world, and even if it's just a few acreage out in Ireland, it'll be a home one day. We'll go back. You were saying you want to go back. Let's go back.
I think I'd like that, boyo. And at that point, you see a nurse pop her head out from the entryway, call Seamus back in. It's nearly time.
Okay.
Oh.
There goes your favorite. I'm sure.
Maybe if I'm lucky, I can get a sponge bath out of her tonight.
You better say pretty please with those big old puppy dog eyes.
Well, boyo. And he juts his hand out at you. It's been good talking to you.
Always, Seamus. He takes it and shakes it hard.
He
In a firm, good, not hard, kindred way. I don't want to break his arm off.
he pats the back of the man, pats the back of your hand, stands up, dusts off the crumbs. Just remember, Boyle, you're human. You're gonna fuck up a time or two. Forgive others as you forgive yourself. Then he turns and waddles back in, leaving you alone, sitting here in the cool night air. How did that conversation make Finnegan feel? What's going through his mind right now?
He's just staring at the table after that last sentence to remember that he's human. And it was said a couple of times. And he just, after a few moments, right? Help us. I've seen people. Gotta put things right. And take the ring off and secure it back on the chain. Come on, Tay. If we head out quick enough, we might still be able to either get an enchilada on the way home or a hot dog.
And Kay perks up a bit, pads after you.
Kind of reaffirming pats on the side as they walk off towards the manor, I think, is where he's at.
Oh yeah. As you get to the manor, go ahead and give me another wits and awareness, please.
Does this one include my
Not tonight.
paranoia? Ooh. Does it not? Ooh, how fun.
Because you have that wonderful mellow resonance in you.
Oh, bitch. Okay.
There it is.
Oh, no. Well, yeah. Uh, yeah, I'll keep it.
Okay.
I might need a willpower roll for later.
Possibly. You still got 3 left.
Mm-hmm.
So while you might not notice a lot, the one thing you do notice, because it is overwhelmingly obvious as you walk up to the manor house, is that most of the cars parked on this street are caked in this iridescent yellow powder.
Finnegan takes. Wait, would it be fair to assume that Finnegan would have like a handkerchief
Fair to assume.
or something like that, and just kind of like starts. Well, no, he's mellowed out. He has it ready, like he'll tuck it in like his shirt pocket because he's looking around. Does this look like pollen? It's iridescent and yellow, and it's nighttime.
Uh, it does look like you've seen cars with pollen on them before, but this seems to be an awful lot of pollen. And the only difference between pollen you've seen on the cars in the past and what you're looking at now is that iridescent sheen and the amount. Other than that, it does resemble pollen.
So
And you've been
tell,
reading on the news that there's been high pollen counts.
hey,
So it would be easy to ignore and just kind of note for a later date.
he'll keep the handkerchief in his pocket, but like turn to Tay and just go, don't go sniffing them cars like that, right, boy?
Right.
Come on, we got hopefully a friend to see.
And he trots along beside you.
Maybe some nacho.
Mm, big plate of nachos would be nice,
Sounds like. Hey,
with
come on,
steak.
good gracious. Like I'm in the Glens again. Good. Hey, focus up, focus up. Talk to you, boy. Talk to you. Okay.
And you get up to the manor, and you find yourself standing before the door.
I'm kind of hesitant, like it's a bit, and both reaches up to the knocker a couple of different times before giving it a couple of clicks and taking a step back.
And it doesn't take long before the young man kind of opens the door. Oh, well, I wasn't expecting to see you here tonight.
I was in the neighborhood. I stopped by and saw Seamus.
We've missed you down at the club.
I I've been roaming a bit, but I'm back. I'm back in town. Um, it was Aiden, wasn't it?
Mhm. And he pushes the door open a little bit further. Why don't you come in and get out of this
I
pollen?
appreciate you. Hey, have you been out and about in it much, or you been inside?
Oh, been keeping to myself mostly. Thankfully, I don't suffer from the allergies like most folk do, but I do get lightheaded every now and again.
Hmm.
And he ushers you inside, you and Tay inside before closing the door.
Now, if I remember correctly, he has a heartbeat.
He does.
Okay, I'll follow him into the other room. And say, hey, Seamus was saying that club's been doing all right, even in the absence. Sure, you're making them good drinks, right?
Of course, of course. Can we get you something? Water, tea?
Uh, no, I'm sure I might not be staying for too long. I don't want to be a bother to this dropping in like this on you in them damn near middle of the night.
Finnegan, standing here in the foyer, you can clearly see the place where you diablerized Cunningham at the base of the stairs.
Uh, you last time you mentioned your dog.
Yeah, he seems he went back home for a bit. I'm not sure when he'll be back though. Haven't heard from him in a while.
He said he was aging, eh?
Well, he was the older sort, but he was still sturdy.
I well, who knows then?
So make ourselves a bit more comfortable. We'll
I
sit in the parlor.
I get away from these stairs.
And he gives you a sidelong glance when you say that, but doesn't say anything. Moves into the parlor, takes himself a seat in one of the chairs. So, to what do I owe the visit?
As I always say, I was just in the neighborhood, wanted to check ins on you, make sure you're doing all right. Uh, know I've been gone a bit, but I'm back now.
Oh, I. You, you doing all right? Looking a little.
Uh, it's been a night and lots of memories. It's like I'm seeing ghosts, kind of like what them old fogies say at the club.
Mm.
I think I know what they're talking about. But I was just wanting to see if you were doing okay.
Doing all right. Club's been working out just fine. Been keeping busy.
Mm.
But sure you're all right?
I'm just pondering, thinking on what to say necessarily, how much to say.
It's just you, me, and the dog here.
Mm,
Figure you
mm.
can speak as freely as you like.
No, I, no, I. Thinking a lot about that Cua Campbell.
Story again.
Well, you don't fancy it.
It's not that I don't fancy it. It's just no man can be that great.
I'm sure he had his shortcomings. Had those he let down. I heard he
Here,
had a girl.
Seamus. Oh,
Seamus's niece.
that explains why you speak so highly of the man.
There's an undeserved devotion to it, I think. As you said, he was just a man.
Aiden leans back and regards you. Talk as if you know the man yourself.
I've heard the stories too. Said a couple myself. My family's been fighting a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that
Dad,
you don't have to fight.
Dad made mention of it. Said he wasn't proud of some of the things that he'd done.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Always used to say to me, Junior, you always got to be careful. You do what you think is right by king and country, and you'll damn yourself even further.
Got to protect your home. Got to protect your family. That's what comes first over king and country.
He said a lot of those old timers thought they were protecting their home, thought they were protecting their family. A lot of them realized they were lied to, Dad chief among them.
Mm. You were saying that he was one of them black and tans, eh?
He was in the RUC, yeah. Wasn't proud of it. Not not there near the end. He said his eyes got opened one night, part of a raid. Saw a young girl get killed and realized he might not have been fighting for king and country anymore. Realized maybe he wasn't fighting the good fight. Started thinking maybe he was one of the bad guys after all.
There were too many young maids that were lost in those raids. And
That's
I can't say how many your father. I'm glad he to forgive is divine.
maybe you should tell him that when he comes back. He's not exactly keen on forgiving himself.
Might be part of their generation. I'm sorry for bothering you, Aiden. I should go.
You sure? I mean, you only just got here.
And goes.
Oh.
I don't want to fight. You don't need to fight. Don't.
He gives you this soft look. Something on your mind? You look like you want to say something.
Can't can't explain it all, Aiden. But just know, no matter what happens, no matter what occurs in the coming years, what rises and falls across these lands, if you ever need anything, you come to me. I'll look after you. I'll protect you. I missed me shot once before, but I'll be there.
Gives you this odd look. Okay.
You don't have to. That's what keeps
Say
you.
again. I missed what you had said.
You don't have to fight. You just kind of.
Aiden will nod. Well, be safe out there. This city's been weird.
Right? How you figure?
Well, it's just been jumpier than usual.
I. You stay safe. You. You stay out of all of this pollen. You hears?
Yeah, yeah. And Aiden chuckles. He goes, I swear, the way folks are behaving out in the city, it's like how Dad described back home after the Good Friday Accords.
I. There's
That,
chaos.
that odd stillness after a conflict.
Never know one who's who. What you can know. Who you can trust. But you can trust me.
He gives you a smile. I'm glad. Maybe maybe we should do this again sometime when you're feeling a bit better.
Hey, maybe ask you and talk to you some more.
I think I'd like that.
You talk a lot about your dad. What happened to your mom?
Dad said she passed, giving birth to me.
Hmm.
But that she was a good sort, a kind sort.
You're how old you say? Looks like you're no more than just a few score.
I actually have to do math real quick.
Well, because I remember Finn being the youngest looking at the club.
Yeah.
And
He looks no older than you do.
great. That's super.
There is the one thing that jumps out about him are those deep green eyes, just like
Right,
his mom.
right. And there are reminiscent of Finn or of Sean, I suppose.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. And he was kind of going
You
towards.
can you can definitely see that he doesn't much resemble Cunningham.
You'll have to tell me more about your mom sometime. Maybe find some record. Uh, but it's getting late. I'll let you get to sleep. I'll be heading to bed myself soon.
All right. You be safe out there.
Of course.
Have a good night.
You too, boy.
Boy, he says. And Aiden will stand up from the chair, hold his hand out to you.
Good shape.
He'll guide you to the door, open it up for you, let you leave. As you exit, he closes the door behind you, and you can hear the locks click into place, and the lights in the parlor turn out. The porch light stays on, though.
As he hears the locks and sees the lights start turning off, he just kind of is like standing at the door for an extra beat or two and just love you.
As you as you turn and walk away from the manor, now, how is Finnegan feeling?
Torn to shred. Uh, Trying to figure out what he's doing in this afterlife, but also dancing on a very thin edge with these kind and how close he's getting. And this is just the first step, and I feel like the highness is slowly starting not dissipate, but like that creeping paranoia is just like you're gonna mess up. You can't protect you. There's nothing you can do if you introduce them at all to society. They're going to. And he's just kind of walking back aimlessly.
What are your thoughts on your old enemy?
It's right convenient that after so many years of abuse and raids and torture, that a different young lass changes his mind. And for a moment, Finn's angry, jealous. That why couldn't it have been before? Starts thinking on what it could have been, kind of stuff. All of the regret, and tries to keep it as a small stone, but keeps saying how he felt bad. And, and Finn goes back to that night on this and how he was.
Hmm?
And he caught the car that he'd been chasing for so long. And the car says,
Yeah. When the car tells you it wanted to be caught.
it deserved to be caught.
Guilt.
Why do you deserve peace?
Was it peace, Finnegan? Or was it punishment that he deserved?
He deserved punishment.
And is that what he got?
Still seems to be punishing me.
That's the thing about revenge. Revenge isn't punishment. Revenge is not for them. Revenge is for you. And you dug two graves that night. You're just waiting to fill yours.
I have to keep them safe. Then my time will come. Maybe once they find their path and not to trip as much. Won't be
And with
get me to join you that. Not
and
that.
with that, we will call this touchstone session of Philly by Night to a merciful close. Because I think this is about all the uh, all the punishment that our dear boy can tolerate for the evening.
Will say, if you're down for it, I have one last quick Probably would take less than 5.
Okay, you know what? I'll allow it.
The merciful storyteller.
uh, Finn, Finn will be kind of like walking on back. He'll take the ring off of the chain and put it back on. Just say, I'm not expecting no kind of visit or nothing. You already blessed me with one. I thought you don't lie. I thought she was dead. How? We need to speak again soon. And I want answer.
You hear a voice distant in the night. We do not. You most certainly do.
Back up. And that's it.
Mm-hmm. And with that, I shall dismiss the demons, and we can call this to a close.